This is a test. This station is conducting a test of the emergency broadcasting system. This is only a test.
Taste the biscuit. Taste the goodness of the biscuit. Taste the honey sauce. Taste the goodness of the biscuit with the honey sauce. Don't get that honey sauce on me. I don't like the way it tastes with my chicken wings.
We return you now to your regularly scheduled program.
What's up? What's up? What's up? What's up? What's up? What is going on, everybody? This your man Dre Mac coming to you again with another episode of the Dre Mac Show. 7:30 in the morning Central Time, 8:30 on the East Coast. You're from the West Coast right now. Go ahead and get up because you already know that the early bird gets the worm. And when I tell you the grifters are losing it, son, I was just waiting. I was just waiting. And I was a day late because I could have tied, but I'm glad the show yesterday was amazing. Thanks for everybody who came in and watched the show on yesterday. That show was fun. It was amazing. It was awesome. But today, all the Pillsbury Doughboys was out. And man, was they cooking up buttery biscuits. And I got a Shine Comics. Oh man, you was tasting the biscuits hard yesterday. I'm sure I'm calling all of y'all out. And we gonna get into some reaction videos, Critical Stinker, Nerd Product, you know what I'm saying, and Shine Comics. All of y'all getting cooked today. So hopefully you guys are happy. Hopefully you guys are healthy. Shout out to everybody who is coming in the chat right now, but you already know how I do. The real question is,
are you say why you hating on my energy? Say why you hating on my energy? I don't think you wanna be my enemy.
All right. Let me see who is all in the house today. Let's shout out everybody who is in here. Bishop Mays, what's good? What's good? What's good? Hey, most definitely praying for you, brother. Most definitely praying for you. Andre Ware, what's good? What's good? What's good? Good morning. Good morning. Good morning. Junior Network, good morning. Good morning. X-Man, Xavier Phoenix, good morning. Justice No, good morning. Good morning. Good morning. Sheed is up in the house. What's good? Good morning. Good morning. Good morning. Miss Roberta, the church auntie, is here. Good morning. Good morning. Good morning. I promise you, ain't gonna be no cussing in here. I promise you that. But we got to call out these buttery biscuits, boy. Woo! The Pillsbury Doughboys was cooking yesterday. You know what I mean? Cooking. Michael Johnson, good morning. Good morning. Good morning. Hunter Iggy, good morning. Good morning. Good morning. Yeah. I'm trying to. We gonna get into that. Because trust me, we got some some buttery biscuits to bake today. Savage Cabbage, what's good? What's good? What's good? Torian, what's good? What's good? What's good? And I already know probably Birdman is gonna have something on this, and I'll do a reaction video when he does his, or if he does it, which he probably is. I'm just 9 times out of 10. This is easy pickings, boy, because they was on Twitter going wild yesterday. So, but most definitely, I'm going to do my reaction video to these cats. You know what I mean? So I can already kind of know what's going on. So, let's get into that. Before I get into that, man, let me shout out everybody who is in the crew, man. Let's go. Hold up. Wait a minute. Wait. Whoa. Stop everything you're doing. Go and hit that like button. I know this is probably your first time watching and you probably enjoying everything. Stop fucking on the channel. Go and hit that subscribe button so you never miss one of my videos or one of my morning live streams. And for only $2.99 a month, you know you can be a part of the crew. And shout out to all my crew members that have been holding it down for Dre Mac and the crew since the beginning. All right, back to your regularly scheduled program, now in service. Go. Bye. All right. And again, thank you so very much to all the people that's in the crew. Even if your name is not on here, man, I really appreciate y'all, man. I really appreciate y'all. All right. Let me do this. I think I want to do this first. Because I think I'm gonna be here for a while. I'm not even gonna hold you. I think I'm gonna be here for a while. So let's do this. Because I'm getting prepared. I'm getting ready. Let's do this. Let me go to a commercial break. Y'all already know how I do, because I want to get y'all prepared for the buttery biscuits that's about to be baking around this mug. I want to get y'all real prepared for this, because, man, I already know. So let me go to a quick commercial break, and I'll be right back with more of the Dre Max Show.
Knight Rider will continue in a moment.
Them biscuits I smell, Mom.
That's my Hungry Jack.
Tommy takes one of them. Them my mama biscuit. Them my mama biscuit.
Switching to Geico really save you 15% or more on car insurance? Does a 10-pound bag of flour make a really big biscuit?
All right. So let me do this real quick. Let's get to buttery biscuit person number one. Let's get to the butter biscuit brother first. Sean Comics, brother biscuit, buttery biscuit brother of the week. I already knew this. From the simple fact, Sean, if you ever see this video, you feel inclined to go back and forth with me or whatever, brother, you are the one who said that black people don't read comics because we're too busy stealing them. And I'm sitting over here with a whole bookcase full of comics that I paid a lot of money for. You know what I'm saying? Why you trying to down Ernie Buckman? You know what I'm saying? You making yourself look stupid. And this right here proves how buttery biscuit, how much you in air July's butt cheeks that you are. Just look at what he wrote. The Lantern Show is racist slop made by woke white leftists. Who does that sound like? Sean, let me tell you something. In the words of the Joker, stop it. You're not them. You want to be them, but you're not them. Even though you want to be, you're not. You're not them. So don't talk like them. Don't be like them. Be yourself. You're not Eric July, but you want to be in that proximity so bad that you write stuff like this. Brother, I don't understand what flavor of biscuits that you're eating, but man, are you taking I'm talking about a big bite of the buttery biscuits with this mess. Instead of having Jon Stewart be his own great hero, they're killing the white guy and centering all of Jon's motivations on surpassing the white guy instead of just being his own greatest self. You know why this sounds dumb? Because this is episode 1, you idiot. We have no idea what the finish is going to be. We have no idea how long the mystery is going to draw out. They literally gave you clues in episode 1 that this might be a fake out by saying there are 14 different species of aliens that can replicate human DNA that cannot be detected. And this is what you wrote. Boy, I put this on everything. Them biscuits must be good. Them biscuits must be real good for you to write this type of mess. You know what I mean? And it's funny because this is coming on the heels of the Pillsbury Doughboys. Because, of course, you already know the Pillsbury Doughboys. You know they were going to have their slop. Because what y'all doing is slop. This is slop. This is so easy to do because it's so easy because Elon's Twitter, Elon's version of Twitter, which is X, they reward you goofballs for this type of mess. Again, that's why I'm not paying for Elon's services. My stuff is already, I got the rest of the month. I'm not renewing this mess. After he said Derek Chauvin should be released, why would I want to continue to? Hey, wait, this is what I'm talking about. We talk about, oh, what are you going to do against racist Disney? I said don't buy the merch. People that's on, I've been on Twitter since 2009. I'm not about to pay for this mess. No, I'm not about to pay for this mess. I'm not putting no money in Elon's pocket for a little blue check mark. If nobody sees my show after this on X, fine by me, but I'm not about to fund this mess. Why? And I was only doing it because I know people were watching the show from Twitter. But if you follow me on Twitter and you're watching this for Twitter right now, you better like, share, subscribe on the YouTube channel because you'll never see me on here again. Period. After my little money is done, you'll never see me on this app like that again. Not from a monetary standpoint. F this app and everything it stands for. And F the owner and everything he stands for. I'm standing on business. This is ridiculous. So here we go. As far as the Doughboys, let me share my screen. Look, it could be these Doughboys that can't help themselves. Another grip video coming. You got this because our neighborhood grifter, Neurotic, which we're about to go to that video, he couldn't wait. He could not wait to get to start the grifting. You see what I mean? He couldn't wait to start grifting. So we about to get into this latest his grip video, and then we're gonna go because you know what's funny? Critical Drinker does a grip video. Guess who also did a video? Neurotic. It's funny how they tag team on their videos. Now I'm going to play Neurotic's video first. And this is 23 minutes. So that's why I said I got time today. I'm getting ready to go out of town tomorrow. We're gonna listen to all of this. You know what I'm saying? We're gonna listen to all of this. But again, Neurotic and Critical Drinker drop their videos at the same time. Y'all don't see no coincidence of this. This is the same thing Birdman was trying to point out. That these dudes, I mean, are they a symbiote? Do they have a symbiote relationship? If his video was 23 minutes along with Drinker's video being 23 minutes, I think they have a symbiotic relationship. They're not revealing to us in here. But let me get to the your super chat. I see you, Culture Made. Culture Made, again, thank you very much for the $10 super chat. I just wanted to say I think Sean do that just for the engagement. He know people gonna click when he gets hate watching. Sean think he's slick. Sean is a grifter that's tasting the biscuits. And he tried to make his claim to fame by going at Ernie, but dude, you're a goofball too. You are a goofball that wants to be like Eric July. You not slick. And you see that Elon's app is going to make you money. That's grifting 101. And yeah, he's tasting the biscuits. Ernie tasting the biscuits. But I don't understand what's the infatuation with this whole political right left thing. I don't get the infatuation on it. It got to be sickening after a while to be able to ride this fine line of buttery biscuit business and trying to call out the woke left. You sound like an idiot, period, point blank. You're no better than them. That's why the Joker said, you're not them. You don't talk like them. You're not one of them. Stop it. Stop it right now. Shine Comics, you have enough time to put the biscuit down, but I think you're too far gone because I think you're stuck with the honey sauce. And I think the honey sauce is just dripping all over you right now. It is ridiculous. But again, Culture Mate, thank you so very much for the $10 super chat. I'm calling this dude out because this is ridiculous, man. It's ridiculous, but I appreciate you, though.
You are truly amazing. Thank you for your super chat.
I sound like a hater. Oh, yeah, I'm hating because I hate black people that love the buttery biscuits. That's what I hate. I hate white people who all of a sudden now we're being replaced. That's the same thing the Tiki Torch dudes was saying. We're being replaced by who? Stop crying, you snowflake. Shut up. Shut up now. Shut up. Y'all was so busy calling people so fake. Saying, oh my God, I'm a victim of being replaced. By who? Shut up. Get up out of here. You better be glad I ain't cussing today. Because I would. Anyway. Let's get to going. Let's get to going. Respect my culture. What culture? What culture? Respect my culture. Shut up. Shut up. Stop crying. Stop all that crying. Get out of my chat crying.
It's because we all agreed that the green was stupid. It was never something that I necessarily felt like, oh my God, I've got to make a Green Lanterns TV show or a Green Lanterns movie.
I have Damon Lindelof on the show, one of the great writers of all.
You know this is going to be chopped up in out of context. Right? You know it's going to be out of context like a mofo.
All time, let him cook.
The way that it was presented to me at first by James Gunn and Peter Safran, and Tom had pitched it as True Detective. It may not be canonical, but you know, times they are a changing.
Hal Jordan at the beginning of the series feels like a bit of a beat-up has-been. Certainly doesn't feel like Earth's Green Lantern.
We had a cartoon called Super Friends. It's a pretty mundane prop. It's not Excalibur. There's this level of excitement that we experience when we hear that something new is coming, and then we also are like, this better not suck.
Ergorotic.com.
Greetings, you over 1 million hellions.
Before we get into this, real quick, let's check them Rotten Tomato scores on Lancers right now, because there has been a Discord on this raggedy app called X, and people are saying, "Oh man, I think we treated Green Lantern too harshly." And again, let me show you something real quick. 95% critic score, and again, in a lot of the critics seeing it all the way into episode. What I understand is episode 7, but they won't reveal episode 8. But people like this idiot and the rest of the Pillsbury Doughboys, you know what I mean, are down in this because a white man. See, this is funny. This is funny because one thing I do know is about fridging. If I'm not mistaken, didn't they fridge? Was it Hal Jordan's girlfriend to be a motivation of? Matter of fact, hold up. Wait a minute. I just want to see something real quick. The fridging in comics. Just want to see something real quick. Fridging is a comic book trope where a female character is killed, injured, or emotionally broken down solely to motivate a male protagonist or advance the storyline. The term comes from a 1994 Green Lantern issue where the hero finds his girlfriend murdered and stuffed into a refrigerator. See, it was okay. It was okay when the comic book character. This was Kyle Rayner. Okay, yeah, I knew it was something. What am I doing? I knew it was a Green Lantern comic. That I did know, right? Without Pam, since Pam was good. But it was okay when they wrote the white man, because they're probably not going to bring this up, especially when they're talking about the last scene in what? Shut up! Get out my chat. You don't know what I do. Get out my chat. You don't even know what I'm talking about right now. So get out my chat. You don't like it? Bye. Peace out. I'm on folks' heads today. So bye. Get out. Anyway, so see, it was okay when a white man's motivation was his girlfriend being fridged, right? Being fridged, so so the male protagonist, the white male protagonist, could go on to be this great hero. That's okay. That's fine, right? But when a white man is fridged at the end of this Grifter series, that we don't know the ending, we don't know nothing, all of a sudden, white men don't feel too good about that, because or the buttery biscuit brothers and sisters, because oh man, this is woke this is woke racist slop. Why are they fridging the white man to start the motivations of the black man? This is racist. But nobody said it was sexist when they wrote that in Green Lantern number 54. When it's a white man's motivation on here to elevate his character, nobody has no problem with that, right? Nobody has no problem with that. But what if the roles were reversed and the white man was fridged to boost the black man's character or whatever? Now all of a sudden, oh my God, it's racist. Oh God. This is the first episode of the show, and these dudes is already crying. Y'all are the softest dudes I've ever seen in my whole entire life. And it's ridiculous. And again, a lot of people are down in this or whatever. They going back and review bombing it. And because it was like the audience score was actually in the 90s before the grifters came out and said, let's review bomb it because they fridged the white man and I don't want to be replaced. God, y'all are soft. Y'all don't even know what the hell the whole rest of the story is. But yeah, let's blame them. What's up, Tina? Over here on the early bird gets the worm. That's what I'm talking about. Man, shut up. You know what I'm doing? Golly. Because I don't want this to go at his normal speed, or I'm going to just lose every single brain cell that I have. So I'm going to speed this up just a little bit. And yeah, because I don't want to listen to his voice that much. But let's go. That's a lie. That's already a lie. Saying that James Gunn DCU has not had a win is a complete lie. Did they drop the ball on Supergirl? I'm not gonna act like they didn't. What's up, Creature King? I'm not gonna act like they didn't. But let's not act like Creature Commandos was not a win. Let's not act like Superman wasn't a win. Again, you don't have to. Do you know how much an anomaly it is for movies to hit billion-dollar statuses? That's an anomaly. It's not something that happens on every single movie. There is rare, like what we're seeing with Spider-Man Brand New Day is rare, is completely rare air. What Odyssey did, surpassing Deadpool and Wolverine, as the highest grossing rated R film, right? That's unprecedented. That's why it's breaking those records. But every movie doesn't have to be a billion-dollar movie. I don't know who put that in the head for it to be successful. I kept saying all it's got to do to turn, all it has to do is turn a profit. That's it. That's all it has to do is turn a profit. And as long as it turns a profit, it is successful in the eyes of the studio. I don't like Wakanda Forever like that, but did it turn a profit? Absolutely it did. There's plenty of movies that I don't like that turned a profit and they do not care about what we think about that movie. Did it turn a profit? Minecraft is probably one of the most mindless, ridiculous movies I've ever seen in my life. Did it turn a profit? Yes, it did. And there goes my Transformers. Just hitting the thing. These movies are going to turn a profit, and when they turn a profit, that's all that matters in the eyes of the studio. Was it successful? Did it get viewership? Did it hit Nielsen ratings? Did it hit the ratings for streaming that matter? That's all that matters. Nobody cares about your feelings. Nobody cares about any of that. Did it turn a profit? That's it. Let's keep going. They're already lying. Hold up. Sorry, y'all. Let's go back. Let's go back. Well, before I do that, well, I get to it when I get to it.
Over 1 million hellions and the 40% who haven't subscribed yet. Stating the obvious, because let's face it, that's what we do here a lot on YouTube. James Gunn's DCU needs a win in the worst way. Why, you ask, dear viewer? Good question, because they haven't had one. Heavily depending on what day you ask James Gunn.
Again, that's a lie. I just broke it down. That's a lie.
According to James Gunn, the James Gunn's DCU started with Creature Commandos, a cartoon that nobody watched. That's at least until the movie Clayface comes out.
That's a lie. Let's break down each and every lie that he puts out. Hold on. All right, so let's go. All right, so the viewership for Creature Commandos was modest and missed, while data analytics firms like Luminate noted a solid start. Rank is at the top as a top 3 most watched debut week for the Max with nearly 22 million views. The animated shows failed to crack the traditional Nielsen ratings and later saw a free promotional streaming run on YouTube. Viewer breakdown. The initial launch pulled respectable numbers on Max, hitting a high placement metrics on the platform's opening weeks. Mainstream tracking, major Nielsen household ratings list, indicating a niche rather than a mainstream audience. So people watched it, it just wasn't a mainstream success. But to say nobody watched it is a lie. YouTube promotion, entire episodes were temporarily streamed for free on the official DC YouTube channel to drive booster ratings. So there we go. There's an overview. There is an overview. But to just say nobody watched it is a lie. People watched it. Now, did viewership drop off? Yes, it did. But don't act like nobody watched it, because 22 million views in the first couple weeks is not bad at all. Let's keep going.
Comes out later this year, which is technically, according to James Gunn, the first story in James Gunn's James Gunn. Creature Commandos was followed by the other beginning of James Gunn's DCU, Superman's James Gunn. And according to James Gunn and Warner Brothers, this was a cultural phenomenon, the summer sensation of 2025, at least until Ted Sarandos spoke to Congress.
Routinely, movies that underperform, the window moves a little bit.
Me and Tita had this conversation. And again, Michael got a release after 40 day. I got to look that up. We're gonna look up the days, because that's not accurate. It didn't underperform. That's a lie. That's a lie. And again, this is somebody who's trying to buy another company. I'm not gonna listen to any suits and ties trying to buy another company while Booker is over here looking like that. Like, word.
And Superman was a little shorter window and Sinners was a little longer window.
That was followed by Peacemaker.
No, we're gonna break down everything, because again, I have time today. So, hold on. Superman's yes, James Gunn's Superman 2025 was profitable. Industry financial reports and studio trackers indicate that the film generated a net theatrical and ancillary profit of roughly 100 million to 125 million, with some estimates reaching to 150 million off of global box office numbers run of over 617 million. So it was profitable. Let's stop running the narrative that it didn't make money. Let's stop running the narrative that nobody watched nothing. Let's stop running the narrative that as long as it's profitable, a studio does not care. Why, if it wasn't profitable and it just tanked and it was underperformed and then they got an early release on streaming, then why are they making a second movie? Ask yourself that question. And again, let me see if let's get back to it because I want to get past a lot of this stuff that he's saying, but let's just break it down and make sure that we're here.
Peacemaker season 2 featuring James.
See the whole thing, Chimera, about a quote unquote marketing budget. A marketing budget is never disclosed. And let me put myself on camera. A marketing budget is never disclosed in when you're looking at these things, because when you're looking at the actual film budget, because what you have to do is, if you're going to talk about a marketing budget, you also have to incorporate what the merchandise, how much they made on merchandise, because if you're marketing something, you're trying to get something back. So the theater has a percentage of what they make off of the ticket sales of movies. The studio has it. You also have to incorporate in product placement, because product placement also takes the swell off of what the studio has. So if I want to be able to put my product inside of a movie, then I have to pay into that movie's budget. That is bad business 101. They're never going to tell you how much a marketing budget or how much somebody paid to market their product inside of a movie. They would never do that, because then there'll be, sales wise, they'll be cutting their foot from other people, because if Tide paid, let's say for the sake of argument, $1 million, you know what I'm saying? Then why are there, and then another, let's say soap detergent company, only paid 500,000. Tide is going to wonder why they paid $1 million and this person paid only 500,000. That's why you never see, you can go up, look up any information. Stop letting these grifters tell you that. See, grifters tell you that to be able to justify why a movie flopped. Studios are never going to tell you that, because then they will have to disclose how much money that they made on merch, t-shirt sales, board games, toys, every piece of merchandise that they Funko Pops, every piece of licensed merchandise, they will have to disclose. They're never going to tell you that. Never. Because that's how the studio makes their money, off of merchandise. If you ever been to into any type of concert, any type of wrestling event, or anything, they will let you know they make their money on tour. And why? Because they get to sell the merchandise. They're never going to tell you how much they pay for that merchandise, so they can make it the majority of their money. All right. Now that sales that was over, let's keep going.
Gunn's wife having sex with superheroes, which lost 40% of its audience from season 1, which also might have been the start of James Gunn's DCU. But wherever James Gunn's DCU started, I think the history books will look back and find a definitive point of its end when Supergirl was released, where it will go down as the biggest flop of 2026, losing upwards of $200 million. Just when you thought
it was a flop. I'm not going to go sit up here. It was a huge flop.
Things couldn't get worse. They did by orders of magnitude when this little movie called Spider-Man Brand New Day was released just over a month later, where it eclipsed the worldwide box office total of both Superman and Supergirl combined in one weekend. James Gunn's
do they not let me stop this right here. Do they not understand that Spider-Man globally is to me is the biggest name in all of comic book history? We can say Superman, we can say Batman. Nobody's like Spider-Man. You can market Spider-Man to the youngest of kids all the way up into the oldest of kids. Me and Blue just did this on Blurred AF a couple weeks ago, where we showed the chart of Spider-Man. Spider-Man is just internationally known and locally accepted, Pip. Supergirl ain't in that realm. Nowhere close. And and I can understand what James Gunn is doing. James Gunn is trying to make Superman a global name like it was in the golden era. You see what I mean? In the golden era. They haven't been Superman and all of that hasn't been a popular name in the zeitgeist literally since the 70s and early 80s. Then a little movie came along called Batman 1989 came along, and Batman was that dude. And then after Batman, what came later? Wasn't Blade. Blade just say Marvel, but it was Spider-Man. And again, Spider-Man is Spider-Man. It's hard. Spider-Man is so well known around the country, around the world. This makes sense. This is like when we were talking about Michael. We knew Michael was going to make $1 billion because everybody loves Michael Jackson. He's just worldwide. That's the same thing with Spider-Man, dude. Supergirl wasn't going to compete. And honestly, because the Superman movies, has never been like they've been, box office success, but they never just been in the zeitgeist of, no matter if he's dark and gritty, like they try to make it through the Zack Snyder universe, or he's light, bright, and colorful, like with James Gunn tried to do. He's just not. He's never been like that. He's never been on the same level as Batman in popularity. It's just hard because he's never been written where people just love him like that and understand his story and try to humanize him. And I got to give James Gunn his props to trying to humanize him. But again, Supergirl wasn't written by James Gunn. It's written by the dude who did Cruella. Directed by. So, it's a flop. Okay. They act like Iron Man 2, or they act like not Iron Man 2. Let's not even put Iron Man 2 on there. Marvel started off with Iron Man, right? This is Marvel. The MCU started off with Iron Man. It's the first movie. Guess what the second movie was? And it wasn't a box office success either. It was The Incredible Hulk. Now, I like The Incredible Hulk. I have no problem with The Incredible Hulk. Right? I have no problem with the movie. But the box office said a whole nother thing. It happens.
DCU was utterly humiliated, and even the most ardent of James Gunn brethren are starting to jump ship. Add to that the inevitable.
What about Zack Snyder's Batman v Superman? All these Snyder bros do not talk about how much that was a flop, or The Flash, or Aquaman. What was that? Aquaman, whatever the second one was called, because it was garbage. It was hot garbage, and I didn't watch that. It was garbage. It was But nobody talks about the failures of the DCEU and the reason why they went to James Gunn. People forget that part. And Peter Safran.
Warner Brothers Paramount merger, and the questions of his employment status are growing by the day. So yes, James Gunn's DCU does need a win in the worst way, and I did not intend for that to rhyme. Enter HBO's Lanterns, one of the very few James Gunn projects that's actually come to fruition. From showrunner Jamie Lindelof, a Jar Jar Abrams disciple from Bad Reboot, best known for Lost, a mystery box show, The Leftovers, a mystery box show, and HBO's Watchmen, a mystery box show, and it's...
I'm about to say, put it in the comment section below and tell me, did you like Lost? Was anybody a Lost fan in here? Because if I'm not mistaken, Lost kind of had his own legs at one point in time. Put in the comment section, let me know if you like Lost, because this dude is acting like Lost was just trash. I'm not talking about the second Aquaman movie, not the first one. The second Aquaman movie. Put that number up.
a mystery how anybody could have liked it because it's one of the worst TV shows I've ever seen. And let's keep in mind it was so popular, it got picked up for a season 2 and then canceled before it got made. Let's also keep in mind this is the very same Damon Lindelof who said they're not calling the show Green Lanterns because that would be stupid.
It's called Lanterns because we all agreed that the green was stupid.
But wait! There's more!
But why stop there when you can bring in one of the worst contemporary comic book writers who pulled off the biggest rug pull in comic book history? When Batman and Catwoman were supposed to get married, Catwoman ended up
Hold up. The Dark Knight and The Dark Knight Returns are not part of the Snyder's universe. Let's not move the goalposts. Stop playing.
leaving Batman at the altar. So it's no surprise America's dumbest entertainment company.
Right. We act like people wasn't watching Watchmen too. But what happened? Okay, since Gohan is over here and he can't wait. Let me prove you wrong. If the movies was so successful, right? If the movies was so successful, then why did they change hands? Why was it? What happened to Justice League? And let's be honest. Let's be honest. Batman v Superman, the theatrical cut was not good. Now, I will say that the director's cut way better. Way better. I will say that. You know what I'm saying? I said that. I will agree to that. But Justice League, the Snyder Bros cried so much to get the director's cut. They got a damn near 4-hour movie, and they still crying. I know why. I know why. But nobody was going to go to the movies to go see a 4-hour movie. I know he lost his daughter. I know the whole entire story. But let's not act like that the MCU wasn't put belt to ass when it came to the comic book movie wars. Just saying. Now, you might not have people might not there's people in the comment section that's not good. I didn't watch Lost, but I do know that people were saying it was much see TV. Because I don't like having revisionist history. And the reason why I don't like having revisionist history is because people act like those shows wasn't being talked about on a weekly basis. That's just like me. That's just like me saying Game of Thrones was garbage and nobody wasn't watching that. When I know damn well people was watching Game of Thrones, and that's why we have House of the Dragon, and this is why we have Knights of the Seven Kingdom. Even if I said I did not like Game of Thrones, I can't say it wasn't a cultural event. Lost was a cultural event. Whether you like it or not, people watch the show. You see what I mean? That's the crazy part about that. Let's not act like people. And see, that's what I'm saying. Grifters, these media grifters, like to come in and say, that show was garbage. Lost was this. This was that. Nobody watched Watchmen. Nobody watched this. And they're giving you half truths to be able to push a narrative. Because this is all it is. It's narrative pushing. Then when you go back and you say, people actually did watch this. And again, if you're going to give me clips of what somebody says and not the whole entire thing, why would I believe what you're saying in the first place?
Warner Brothers, who once considered maybe having Jack Black play Green Lantern, the very same studio that made Ryan Reynolds Green Lantern, where they were so afraid of that failure, they went completely in the opposite direction by taking...
Yeah, I'm glad he admitted that Green Lantern was a complete trash.
This grand space adventure and turning Green Lanterns into True Detective when True Detective can't even be True Detective anymore. On the same...
Hold up. So let's just back up a little bit. So they don't like the fact that that Lanterns is a detective show, right? Let's just concede that they don't like that Green Lanterns is a detective show, which again, I like it. So now, again, I would tell you off tops, and for y'all who's coming in who don't know me, I'm not a DC guy. I'm not. Well, I like Batman. I like Batman comics, right? Joker is one of my favorite villains of all time. So I don't know the lore of Green Lanterns. But you know what I can do? What's up, Apologetic Simmer? You know what I can do? Is look this information up. Because instead of talking out the side of my damn neck, what I could do is pull up the information and let it tell me. Let Google, let the Googles tell me exactly what's going on. So I'm just writing up the Green Lanterns ever did a detective, because I mean the name of their comics is Detective Comics. So that's what DC stands for. Let me just see. Since I'm not the biggest, since the guy, I mean, my man said that I've never read I think I wrote it wrong. Hold on. Let me see. All right. So my question to Google was, has Green Lanterns ever did a mystery comic book series? And that's basically what True Detective. It's a mystery comic book. It's a mystery series, right? So I'm just asking Google, did they ever do a mystery series with Green Lantern, right? And it says yes. Green Lantern has starred in a sci-fi murder mystery comic book series. Notable mystery series: Far Sector. This 12-issue graphic novel maxi series features Green Lantern Sojourner Joe Mullion. She is sent to the city Enduring, a massive metropolis where residents gave up their emotions to stop all violent crime, to solve the city's first murder in 500 years. So if I wanted to look for a Green Lantern story, they're giving me one. Now, CBR, which is comic book reference, let me share my tab right here, says 10 best Green Lantern mysteries. And what are we doing in episode 1? We're finding out a mystery. That's it. If you're a space cop, wouldn't you be solving crimes? Isn't crimes a mystery? Because you're trying to find out who did it? Am I tripping or am I losing my mind? I think I might be tripping. I think I might be tripping. But anyway, so with him saying, oh man, it sucks, it's ridiculous. I'm trying to tell you, it's ridiculous. Oh, sorry, y'all. Let's get him in talking.
Before I heard Damon Lindelof or Tom King were involved, I was actually looking forward to a Kyle Chandler, Hal Jordan, and an Aaron Pierre John Stewart. But then I read the plot leaks for episode 1, and unfortunately, they were true. Full disclosure, I've never been the biggest Green Lantern fan, and my favorite Green Lantern is Guy Gardner from Justice League International. Now, I've enjoyed some stuff. Emerald Dawn is brilliant. I've liked some Kyle Rayner stuff, and his run's most unintended notable contribution to the comic book industry was his girlfriend being stuffed into a refrigerator, leading to Gail Simone, someone who loves their refrigerator, to coin the term fridging. What is fridging? It is a literary and media trope defined as killing, harming, or incapacitating a character, typically a female love interest or family member, solely to provide emotional motivation or advance the storyline of the protagonist. And the great irony is, somebody rather important got fridged in Lanterns. And yes, HBO.
Okay, so here's the thing. Did Hal Jordan actually get fridged? Or is this a misdirect because we only have one episode? And literally they are mad because the white guy in the story is fridged. So, quote unquote, it was, you know what's crazy? If you go back to the end of the episode, you didn't see John Stewart get emotional. I gotta avenge Hal Jordan. Who took the ring? Nobody never said that, right? Nobody. That wasn't even spoken. Was no words, because we're trying to find out what is going on. It's one episode. We have no idea. We have 7 more episodes to go, so let's just see it to the end. But this is what grifters do. It is so easy to pick apart one thing, make a whole 23-minute video about something you don't know nothing about because we're not there yet. Jump on. If this was episode 8 and he made this and we find out that he was fridged to move the motivation of John Stewart, then you got me. You got me. But to say this after one episode and you see that plot twist, even though they're giving you clues of maybe it's an alien. It could be, we don't know, but they did mention aliens, 14 of them. They can replicate the body. We literally, this scene we're seeing here, this portion right now, right? What we're seeing right now, this is his hologram that was backed up in 2006. So we still don't know what's going on. We don't know. Let's find out. Like, seriously, let's find out.
Lanterns, a show about a guy who wears a green suit with a green ring that can manifest things like bottle openers with his willpower, yet it would be crossing the line into absurdity if they called it Green Lanterns, is a mystery box show. And what is Mystery Box? Well, it's a storytelling cheat where you can avoid those pesky things like continuity, logic, story arcs, or characterizations that hooks the audience by
I wonder why he don't like Watchmen.
The story with unanswered questions, random events, hidden secrets, and gradual reveals that keeps curiosity high the way it is right before you open a Christmas present, which leads the audience to do theory crafting where most of it won't even happen, and more often than not with Mystery Box.
What's in the box? Nothing!
The first episode of HBO's Lanterns is called Pilot. Get it? Because Hal Jordan was a pilot, and this is the pilot episode. And it takes place over 3 time periods, 1996, 2016, and 2026. It opens up with a young Jon Stewart, who's not allowed to watch TV, watching Hal Jordan come out on a 60 Minutes interview. He gets caught by his dad, who punishes him.
I don't think that was it. I don't think that he wasn't allowed to watch TV. Right? I don't think that was it. It was who he's watching on television. And again, because what I don't like is storytelling. Because he's talking about the mystery box. And he's getting that from Weird Al Yankovic's movie. Oh God, I can't think. I know it, but I can't think of it at this point in time. But what I don't like is storytelling is you're just telling me everything from the very beginning, and I'm just watching it play out. What I like is for you to give me exposition that I have to look for the next episode to try to figure out. This is not like Scooby-Doo mysteries or anything like that. You don't have to, pour out everything for me. Let me watch it, figure it out. Let me theory on that. That keeps me coming back because I want to know what they're going to do. What are they going to do next? Is it this? Is it that? That's what makes watching television or watching these shows and watching this stuff. That's what makes it fun, because it's not telling me everything. It's not spilling it out. That's something that, if you're an 80s kid, go back and watch a lot of 80s shows, unless you're watching Dallas, because Dallas and Dynasty. If you know, you know. You know what I'm saying? They still trying to find out who shot JR. You know what I'm saying? But it was not the episodic. What then, for regular shows like a Dukes of Hazzard or Knight Rider or something like that, they try to spell it out for you so you kind of understand, so you can follow along. And shows like Dynasty or Dallas and those primetime shows like that, they left the clues, the breadcrumbs, so you can go back and say, oh, well, maybe it's this. Well, maybe I got to tune into the next episode so I can find out what's going on. That's what made it exciting. And that's why this show gave me a smile on my face, because I want to know, whoa, who did it? The who did it mystery. If it's real, am I being hoodwinked? Just saying. Exactly. Miss Roberta know what I'm talking about. A lot of these youngsters, they don't know what I'm talking about.
By shooting an apple off his head. This is to show us that Jon Stewart has no fear, and his father's a psychopath. Yet he's got a father in this show, so progress, not perfection. Then we skip to 2016, where Hal Jordan is training Jon Stewart to be his backup. Again, I am not the biggest Green Lantern fan in the world, except for those excellent comments.
Wait a minute. At least I now, I say that I've never read a Green Lantern comic. I don't have any Green Lantern comics. None. I don't have not one. I'm looking at my shelf right now. I got shelf here. I got comics sitting over there. I don't have none. But at least what I could do, and this is something that pisses me off, is that at least I could just look up the information. That's it. I can look up. You may have read a couple comics here and there. Cool. But at least I got to look up the information. That's all. That's all we ask for, and be honest with your critique. Again, this is narrative pushing 101.
comics by Jeff Johns in the 2000s. And I know, Snyder Bros, you don't like Jeff Johns, but the guy's a damn good comic book writer. Anyway, correct me if I'm wrong in the comments, but I don't recall other people being able to use a Green Lantern ring, or people would just be chopping fingers off everywhere. Kyle Rayner had a DNA lock, and Hal Jordan's had become a part of him. But in HBO's Lanterns, Jon Stewart can use Hal Jordan's ring, and Hal Jordan trains him by handing his ring to Jon Stewart as he jumps out of a speeding car.
Okay, so let's go look that information up. Now, again, it could be creative liberties or something like that, but because I'm even curious on this. All right, so this is what it says. The AI overview says, no, just anyone cannot use a Green Lantern power ring. The ring must actively choose its wielder, and the user must possess an extraordinary amount of inner willpower to control it. Let me read that again. No, just anyone. Just anyone. So I can't get the Lantern ring and just use it, right? I can't just get it and use it. But it says the ring must actively choose its wielder, and the user must possess an extraordinary amount of inner willpower to control it. Now, let's get back to the show, and let's say that the ring did choose both Hal and John. Is that comic book readers who are Green Lantern fans? Is that not out of the realm of possibilities? Put it in the comment section and let me know. You know, this is just like the what it reminds me of a Thor's hammer, Mjolnir, that that you just can't pick up the hammer, but Steve Rogers could, right? Steve Rogers and Thor did it at the same time. Nobody batted an eye on that because it said it should just be worthy. So if the ring already chose John, then it chose Hal too. Why is that a problem? Y'all put it in the comment section and let me know.
That's about to drive off a cliff, which admittedly is not as bad as your own father shooting an apple off your head. Of course, Jon Stewart survives because he's going to be the main Green Lantern in the probably short-lived James Gunn's DCU. And while on his way to go meet Hal Jordan at a taco shop, he comes across...
You know what? This is the reason why I want this to succeed, because I hate these grifters with a passion. Yes, I'm the biggest hater. I hate your face. I hate the way that you talk. I hate the way that you get on here and spoil your bull crap. I hate all of it. I hate these grifters. I hate that you're a Pillsbury Doughboy and you feed buttery biscuits to unexpected Negroes who repeat your rhetoric, laughing and giggling because they want to be a part of your clique that would never be a part of your clique, because a lot of the majority of y'all, or really all of y'all, are racist bigots, you know what I'm saying, that are incels with a little bit of money. Now you feel like you feel like you got something.
A construct of Hal Jordan manifested by the ring. This construct is of a 10-year younger Hal Jordan who's much nicer than the 2016 version of Hal Jordan, who's portrayed as an arrogant, lonely, alcoholic loser. Oh, and a complete idiot. Now, the construct Hal Jordan has a message for Jon Stewart to give 2016 Hal Jordan. There's hail in Rushville, Nebraska, and once Jon Stewart gives Hal Jordan that message, he flies off. And that will be the setting for our grand Green Lantern space adventure, and another opportunity for Damon Lindelof to show off his clear distinct...
What? You know what? It doesn't... Why does it not have to be in... Does it have to be in space for you to have a Green Lantern story? Because Green Lantern was in Superman, and matter of fact, Snyder's version of a Green Lantern was in Batman v Superman. Was it a space adventure, or was they fighting in a war because Darkseid came down and he was trying to get mother boxes? But it wasn't in space. Like, can we get to there? I don't have to get to space to enjoy the show. Let's start here and let's move over to space. You know what I mean? I guess. Anyway.
for middle America. Now, Lanterns is really trying hard to be True Detective, but there's also a little Taylor Sheridan mixed in there too. And during my watch party for my members, I mentioned I wouldn't be surprised if Damon Lindelof takes a shot at Taylor Sheridan, and he kind of did. What do you bet we get a shot at like Taylor Sheridan in this series?
A few minutes later.
Sheridan County. Did I not say they would take a shot at Sheridan?
Oh, God.
But I'm sure that was just a coincidence. Anywho, this is indeed a modern take on Green Lantern that's supposed to be a murder mystery that's going to subvert our expectations. And the problem is, it didn't subvert any of my expectations when it comes to Damon Lindelof after being left.
Because you didn't go, see, again, a lot of these grifters do not go in here with the best of intentions. They went in here to crap all over this show and tried to see how much crap that they could spew out of here before ending their streams, ending their shows. This ain't nothing new. We know this. We know this. We know that grifters like Neurotic and Critical Drinker and all of that watch these shows just to crap on it. Half of the time, they don't even watch the show. They don't even watch the movie. Literally, Critical Drinker got busted saying, I didn't even read the Woman of Tomorrow comic book, but then went on a whole rant, because I'm pulling this up, to talk about something he didn't even have. This is my brother's copy. I got two. Because after I went to go see the Superman movie, people were saying, you got to read that book. Because if you read the book, then you will know what the director and the writer did to that movie was hot garbage compared to the book. And again, this is what I'm talking about. When you go and buy something, like if I really wanted to know about Green Lantern, D Sizzle already told me go. There's 7 years of books that I could get, and I could easily just go to the DC website, subscribe to their thing, and just read Green Lantern stories. I can. You know what I'm saying? I really can. But at least I'm willing to do that instead of getting on my channel and spewing a bunch of bull crap that they don't do. Critical Drinker didn't read this, didn't know nothing about the story, don't nothing. He admitted it on a show. I don't know. But then went on a whole rant about something he don't know nothing about. This is what I'm talking about when it comes to grifting, man. Y'all gotta watch. Y'all gotta watch these grifters. And again, I'm not a big DC guy, but I'm trying to tell you, this book was phenomenal. The Woman of Tomorrow book, I'm talking about absolutely excellent.
Behind by dickhead Hal Jordan, Jon Stewart has to take a commercial flight out to Nebraska, which would probably take a long time because it's not direct, and he comes upon a murder scene that's still there. There was a mass shooting with casualties at a high school football game, but the only problem is, in this small town, nobody knows any of the victims, and Hal Jordan believes they're aliens. Now, of course, Sheriff Girlboss tells him that this isn't his jurisdiction.
See, there it is. Sheriff Girlboss. A woman being sheriff is a girl boss. A woman being a sheriff is a girl boss. Meanwhile, and he should know, because, he's had his run-ins with the law, so he probably doesn't like that anyway. Right? Meanwhile, I went to go get a security license, just, earlier this year. Guess who was the sheriff? Very beautiful woman, though. Very, very beautiful brown-skinned woman. And she didn't look like she played any games. Then I was like, hey, lady, you're a girl boss. I don't want to take my license from you. What I would like to have is a license from a real man sheriff. No. Because that's idiotic. Like, women can't be sheriffs. Women can't be cops. He probably don't like that anyway, because, check his record. Probably will really hate that. Let's keep going.
In a back offer investigation because it couldn't be aliens. Why believe the superhero? On top of that, Sheriff Girlboss won't allow Hal Jordan, the galactic police.
He said, what? Again, first episode, we don't know anything. I don't even know if she might be an alien. We don't know. That's a part of the fun and the mystery. So I don't like, you know what I came into this show? Because I don't know anything about the lore of the Green Lanterns or stuff like that. I came to be entertained. That's what I came. I came to be entertained. And a lot of these grifters make it so hard not to just be entertained and have fun. Because, the sheriff being a girl boss is ridiculous.
Police officer to interrogate any of the witnesses, one of which runs away and is captured by Jon Stewart. Now, it turns out this town in Nebraska is about 20 miles away from where Hal Jordan got the ring from Abin Sur. And after giving a very brief explanation of his origin to the audience and Jon Stewart, Hal Jordan's big plan is to get in a fight, to get arrested so he can interrogate the prisoner in jail. To the show's credit, I guess.
Why were you entertained? Because I have fun. I like mysteries. One of my favorite movies. One of my favorite movies is a little movie called Along Came the Spider, right? And I liked it because it's just this mystery that's coming around, and I'm trying to find out who the killer is and why they're doing this and why they're doing that. Morgan Freeman is amazing and all of that. I like mysteries. I'm not trying to theorize this, that, and the other to take myself away from the mystery, because I want to go through each and every episode to find out what's going on. There was great acting by Kyle Chandler, was amazing. Aaron Pierre was fantastic. I'm trying to find out their dynamic, and I'm having a good time. That's it. Just have a good time. You know, you're allowed to have a good time watching stuff, right? That's why this is called entertainment. Or let me say it like Dr. Evil, entertainment. Jeez. Yes, Erica D. I love Outlet. Man, I'm old. Man, it's a Long Came Spider in the other one. Love those movies.
Story, they think this is a stupid idea, and it turns out to be a really stupid idea by a really stupid Hal Jordan. In the meantime, while Hal Jordan is getting his ass kicked, Jon Stewart decides to hook up.
Well, was it really a stupid idea?
With a gilf. You heard me right, not a MILF, a gilf. And listen, I know I'm watching a superhero show, and my suspension of disbelief can go a long way.
First of all, you know what he kind of missed? That woman was sitting there listening to John and Hal talk the whole entire time. I think my man John has sex with an alien. I don't trust any of this. But you know what? You know why? Because it told me that aliens can shapeshift. This is way better than what we seen in Secret Invasion. Secret Invasion was hot garbage. I'm over here like, well, I wonder who's an alien. Because if everybody looks like a human, then now I'm wondering who is the aliens. Unlike, you know, what we've seen in Secret Invasion, this has me more intrigued because they set up the rules from the very beginning. Now that I have the rules, let's see what happens. Let's just see what happens.
Can buy a guy manifesting a pair of scissors with his willpower through a magic space ring. But Aaron Pierre hooking up with her, let's be reasonable. Well, it turns out Hal Jordan's plan was really stupid, and he didn't even get to interrogate the prisoner. But
was it really stupid? But I'm glad it was stupid. If it was stupid, I'm happy it was. But nothing wrong with that. Nothing is wrong with that. Because what if the trope was the guy does it, right? The hero does the plan and it actually works. How many times have we seen this in a lot of action movies? The guy has a plan and it eventually happens just the way he planned it. Like after a while that gets old. I'm kind of glad that it didn't happen like that. Why? Because then we get all of these different reveals and it's not your typical cookie cutter paste storyline. Great. I'm happy for that.
But he does get to be chewed out by Girl Boss Judge because apparently being one of the world's first known.
Oh my God. I'm glad I'm not drinking because every time I would have heard something that's sexist and racist in here, I would have took a drink and I would have been dead by the end of this video, even though I sped it up. Truth be told, I literally had to go in front of a judge for speeding in July. Guess what gender the judge was? A woman. You know what I didn't say? I want a judge. I think a man judge would understand that I got a Mustang with a V8, and sometimes you got to speed. But since you're a girl boss, you wouldn't understand about speed. Jesus. Dudes are ridiculous.
Superheroes and saving planet Earth multiple times doesn't mean shit to a female judge, which honestly checks out. But the worst part is,
oh my God. Oh, jeez.
When girl boss judge asks Hal Jordan what law enforcement branch he
tell
works.
you, I would have been drunk. What up, Blue? I see you up here. Girl, a woman can't be a cop. A woman can't be a judge. I'm trying to tell you, he has a criminal history, and he probably went up against quote-unquote girl boss judge, and he probably got arrested by a quote-unquote girl boss cop, and that's how he got busted.
For, he says this.
I'm Green Lantern, and I'm an agent of Green Lantern.
What is it, too stupid to say the Green Lantern Corps? Hal Jordan is eventually released when he's represented by Sheriff Girlboss's husband, and bailed out by her.
Oh my God.
Father-in-law, a Taylor Sheridan villain played by Garrett Dillahunt from Deadwood and Army of the Dead, who is Will Macon, and I'm assuming he's the villain of the story because Garrett Dillahunt always gets cast as the villain. And this is where we get more trademark fragmented information of a mystery box tale. Again, Will Macon is the father-in-law of Sheriff.
What is wrong with see, he's calling it a mystery box, but how do you know off the first episode?
Girl boss, and he is in charge of a ranch, but he doesn't own it and can't talk about it due to an NDA that houses a militia. Because you know what's Hollywood's worst fear and what they think every town in middle America has? Some megalomaniac ranch owner with a militia. And yes, it also doesn't help that
I mean, literally, if you listen to the actual story, they're literally telling you there's alien activity going on here. There is something going on in that town that is just not right. And he told you in there that I'd rather protect my people that's not born here. So they already know about aliens in the town. So it's not nothing new. And there's clues that maybe, just maybe, that he's an alien too, because he said 2 of my boys almost got killed on that football field. They literally say it in the show. So it wouldn't surprise me if he's an alien. Everybody's an alien. You get an alien. You get an alien. Maybe this is Roswell. We don't know. Let's let things play out.
The only bad guys Hollywood can depict nowadays are white guys with guns. Now, in a scene before this, Sheriff Girlboss warns Hal Jordan that he has time to walk away because he doesn't want to mess with Will Macon.
He's not a man you want to owe. It's not too late. You can just fly on home, spare yourself a moment not too long from now when you wish you'd never come to this place.
And I'm not sure why she would believe that the galactic police officer who's been in cosmic wars would be intimidated by the head of a militia. But this is Mystery Box, so there's probably more to the story unless there isn't. But again, we do learn a few things from this.
There's probably more to the story unless it isn't. Yeah, because you haven't got past episode 1, you dork.
Conversation in the kitchen, and I would like to remind you that this is a Green Lantern show where some of the most interesting things came from a conversation in the kitchen, including Jon Stewart being a vegan.
Ordered you up some tofu steaks?
And it turns out Will Macon bailed out.
Okay, so he's a vegan in the comics. You want comic accuracy, but him being a vegan is somehow funny or whatever. And he was about to say is G-A-Y, even though in the comics he is a vegan. That I did know. So, but see, Alex. Let me pull you back for a little bit. Let's pull you back. In the interrogation scene towards the end of the episode, John and I think her name is I can't think of her name right now. In the sheriff, they're having a conversation, and he's literally said, because we're not talking about just manhunters, right? We just know of manhunters because they gave you a season a preview after this episode. But he says there are, and I'm going to repeat this again, 14 different species of alien that can replicate the DNA of a human being, and no sophisticated technology on Earth can figure it out. This is why that scene is so important. That's why the interrogation scene is so important, because there's more to the story than just manhunters. Maybe that's a part of it. Maybe it's manhunters versus aliens. We don't know because we're only in episode 1. That's it. That is it. Let's keep going.
Hal Jordan, because he is aware there might be an alien invasion in Rushville, Nebraska. How does he know this?
Good question. for another type.
And this is where we get our first inclination of what the possible themes will be in the Lantern Show. Or
again, he already kind of told you that, but again, it's hinted at. We haven't got there yet.
Or it's just the writers inserting their personal beliefs in a simple conversation, where this wealthy and influential Midwestern cowboy launches into a conversation about colonization.
This land we're on right now, it was Kiowa, then Sioux, but across the ocean, boats were coming.
You know what's funny? I'm a Midwesterner. I lived in Kansas City off and on my whole life. I'm originally from Kansas, been in the middle part of Kansas, been in the middlest part of Missouri. You will be surprised at the conversation I'm not even look, you just go 20 miles north and you will hear a lot of conversations that I'm like, I can't believe you even saying that in front of me. And I'm not lying. So that whole thing about colonization or whatever, because people think they're being replaced. They were walking around with tiki torches just not that long ago. They got MAGA right here where I live at. Right where I'm trying to tell you. The conversations that I've heard, this is not out of the realm of possibility. Jesus Lord.
Colonization is ugly from any angle, but it is particularly big if you're the one getting colonized.
Now, the conversation in of itself is fine. It's just that usage of the word colonization. It stood out to me. It's a bit odd.
Colonization is a problem for a white guy. Why? Because I know that colonization has happened. I know a few places in Africa who has been colonized. I know that was a big thing of colonization. Now all of a sudden you have a problem with that word, but you kept calling a woman a girl boss. Yeah. Maybe I'm missing something. Maybe I need to let him speak his mind.
It's a bit Marxist academic. Why not just use the word conquered or enslaved? Either way, either he's an alien or this is written by modern Hollywood, and I think both are true. Now, Hal Jordan...
Oh, my God. Yeah, you know what? It was funny. They talked about that in Black Panther. Either you're the conqueror or the conquered. And he kept calling the young black girl kept calling the white man a colonizer. Let me shut up. Boy, sensitive, ain't they?
Bonds that, you know what, the galaxy's kind of a peaceful place. And then Will Macon shoots back with, then why are there space police? And this is something Hal Jordan should know, considering earlier on in the episode, he mentioned he got back from the planet Farron 4, which was on the brink of a civil war. And later on, when Hal Jordan questions what Will Macon's motivations are, because we have no idea, it's a complete mystery within the mystery box, Will Macon responds with what essentially is part of Hal Jordan's job.
How about we both want to protect the planet from anybody not born on it?
Based. And just when you think they're building up a pretty good bad guy here, who honestly I agree with quite a bit, they cuck him because it just so happens.
I bet you they do. I bet you do agree with the bad guy. And again, Gohan, why are people listening to this guy if they don't see the grift? That's what's crazy about this. They know he was moving weight. I mean, for what I understand, he was out here moving weight like them young boys that was from Penn State. It's just funny. It's hilarious how we let some things slide and other people get demeaned by petty weed charges and stuff like that, or even just running away from a woman down Fifth Avenue. All of a sudden, let me shut up.
Happens that the gilf Jon Stewart got it on with in the parking lot of the bar was his wife, and he knows about it.
Nothing better than eating off another man's grill.
Moving past the context of that statement and just focusing on the statement itself, still Will Macon obliges Hal Jordan and Jon Stewart, who just ate off his grill, and clears the way for an interrogation. Now, the suspect is a truck driver from a town 250 miles away who came to watch the football game. They x-rayed him after his broken nose and found all of his parts in place. Now, somehow they also checked him for all of his organs for some reason, and those are all in place as well. And this is where we learn that there are currently within the DCU 14 alien species who can shapeshift into humans.
Junior, tell the sheriff here how many species currently have the technology to pass as human.
14 MRIs, X-rays, blood work. Nothing down here can tell the difference.
Which I'm guessing is going to be important.
Good question. For another type.
Let's keep.
Why would you tell? Oh my God. It's like he never watched a movie or a television show. Why would I give you this information, give you all of the information at the first episode when I'm trying to be episodic? Why would you do that? That's just like we watch House of the Dragon, right? And we found out in the first episode, in episode 1, the first episode, season 1, that she's the princess going to be promised and she's going to have bastards. That's what she's going to have. Her whole lineage is going to be, unless you read the book. What if the book never even existed? But this is what they tell you all of that at the beginning. So let's say for the sake of argument, the book does exist, right? The book does exist, right? And they give you all of the information that we're getting in season 3 in episode 1. Why the hell am I watching the rest of it? This doesn't make any sense.
Keep in mind, the suspect was in town to watch a football game where there was a mass shooting. There are 4 victims, and nobody knows who they are, and nobody knows who the shooters are. Not to be fair, I had to remind you because I had to remind myself, because you really don't get any sense of how the town feels about this murder because you have no sense of the town. But this is Mystery Box Storytelling, so...
Again, let it play out, you idiot.
Good question. For another time.
Hal Jordan knows the only way to figure out whether or not this is an alien is to get him to confess. And he's going to do that by asking trivia questions, starting with Nebraska football, which the alien can answer. So Hal decides to deviate a little bit and get a little more difficult with the trivia questions and asks a Nebraska trucker where Harry Potter went to school.
Where did Harry Potter go to school? I don't read a lot. Well, you go to the movies, don't you? They only made like 22 of them. I watch a lot of football.
And this is where the guy fucked up, because if you asked a truck driver where Harry Potter went to school, the response would naturally be, I'm not gay, I don't read Harry Potter. And I say that as a Harry Potter fan. Speaking of...
Jesus, Lord have mercy. So you got to be gay to like Harry Potter? I mean, he said that as a Harry Potter fan, so you're saying, Will, that you're gay? Just asking the question, Will, because you and Neurotic sure do like to cozy up when it comes to this stuff. So, I can't wait to get to Obama either. Hunter Iggy, what did you say? You know we got right now. We got about 64 people in the chat right now. So what did you say? If it was Zack Snyder making Lancers, they will praise it. Yeah, they probably would, but I don't care. It's because this is a grift. That's all it is. This is a grift. But if they like, but you gotta ask yourself this, Hunter. Why they don't like anything else that Zack Snyder has did and support him? That's the part. Did I miss a super chat earlier? I missed Roberta's super chat. I am so sorry. I'm just now seeing this because I'm going on my rant. Channel support. When Green Lantern dies, their ring goes to the replacement or back to the home planet of Oa. I'm gonna be honest with you. That's if that's what it is. But again, that's the good part of the mystery. Who has the ring? If it didn't go to Hal, I mean, it didn't go to immediately go to John, even though John used it earlier in the episode. Did it go to Guy Gardner? Or is this a ruse? That's the question. Is it a ruse? But Mr. Roberta, thank you so very much for that super chat. Let me hook you up real quick. There we go.
You are truly amazing. Thank you for your super chat.
You wanna be my enemy.
All right. Let me get to this. Let me do this real quick. I'm going to take a commercial break because I got to get me some water real quick. Let's take a commercial break. We're going to come right back to more of the Dre Mack Show. Don't go nowhere.
The Transformers will return after these messages.
Are you going down? Then you gotta know the best way to go. On the down low.
Damn, you banking like that? And you come over here with a biscuit meal, man?
Would you like to take a survey? No. Elevator go down the hall.
It's you! It's you!
Whoop-de-doo.
We are talking about the same girl.
Okay, well, what do we do? Fight a duel or something?
Well, I don't know. Maybe,
My buddy, my buddy, my buddy, my buddy. Wherever I go, he goes.
Now the conclusion of
Like this?
Slower. Bend over.
Stedman, what's going on?
Darling, are you all right?
Stedman, who was that woman?
That was Professor Haight, disguised as an ugly French lap dancer.
Ugly? She looked beautiful.
I suppose she might have been considered beautiful until you walked in the room.
Oh, Stedman, I've been dreaming of this moment. Come here.
Wild horses couldn't keep me away. Invisible robots!
Invisible robots?
Beep, 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 beep. Look out!
Man, he's Stedman, not just Oprah's boyfriend. If you cross him, you're a dead man. You heard what I said, man.
I heard he was gay. No way, sister.
Who's that man? He's Stedman.
We now return to the Transformers.
All right. Let's keep going.
Harry Potter, Sheriff Girlboss played the ghost of Ravenclaw in Deathly Hallows. And while we're on that subject, we have a he who must not be named moment. Oh, no, not Voldemort, Trump, when Hal Jordan brings up the current president in 2016.
But I bet you can't tell me about the Boston Tea Party. Barack Obama.
Barack Obama is the president of the United States.
That's it. As a rural Nebraskan, that's the breadth of your opinion of Barack Hussein Obama.
He is the 44th president. He followed George W. Bush. There's some controversy surrounding his birth certificate.
Considering it was high school football season, so that means at the very least it was late summer, early fall in 2016, and there was a certain election that Hollywood was absolutely obsessed with. Strange that
We all, again, I work at a place where people still complain about Barack Obama to this day. And all of them ain't white. Like I said, you go up north, I'm just saying, these people do not like Barack Hussein Obama. They still mad. They're still mad. Andre Ware, thanks so very much for the $5 super chat. Neurotic is still selling that mess. It's just a grift now. Thing is now he ain't gotta get locked up. Nope. But I mean, he's a Pillsbury Doughboy. That's what it is. And he just put bacon buttery biscuits, and these people are eating it up. And it's got to be the silliest thing I've ever seen. But I appreciate that super chat. Let's go.
You are truly amazing. Thank you for your super chat.
All right. And then SKNL, get yourself a biscuit mac with the honey sauce. You know what I got right now? You know what I got? I had a biscuit right here. But we call it a cookie, and it's gluten-free. Oh, man. But let me go ahead. Let me hook you up real quick.
Gang, baby. Gang, baby.
You are truly amazing. Thank you for your super chat.
Gang, baby. Gang, baby.
Let's keep going. Hold on.
wasn't brought up, but either way, Hal figures out he's an alien. And this is the scene that it seems that a lot of people are praising, but it is on X, so that is purely anecdotal. The hypothetical confession. And it turns out our trekker from Nebraska is actually an alien who's socially conscious and a postgraduate from Space Uni who majored in human studies.
I'm not of this salty, smelly world, a visitor who went to great trouble to hide himself and learn the arcane rules of pointless contests involving balls that somehow captivate more attention than the deteriorating atmosphere or the hunger of its least fortunate people.
It also turns out that our socially conscious alien, posing as a truck driver, is also there on a clandestine purpose to start a war, stop a war, not really sure.
Good question. For another time.
And to keep
again, it's part of the mystery.
keep this mission secret, he is willing to blow himself up with a biometric neutron device woven into a skeleton that he can activate with a thought. And Hal Jordan's response to the guy who just said he's a human or alien bomb was to rough him up a little bit. But thank goodness that biometric neutron device that's woven into a skeleton beeps before he blows up.
Are you beeping?
Now, why would a socially conscious, advanced alien race that can weave in a biometric neutron device into a skeleton have it beep before it blows up? I don't know! After that, we jump ahead 10 years to 2026, and Jon Stewart is driving in the snow in Nebraska, and he drives past the ranch, which has been completely destroyed, so something must have happened there, and he comes up on the very dead body of Hal Jordan. Looks like he's been shot in the head. Welcome to the DCU, Hal Jordan. Don't worry, it probably won't last very long.
Again, what he didn't say, or what he will not say, is that Hal Jordan has been, and we found this out yesterday, that Hal Jordan has been dead in the comics before for almost 10 years, but won't bring that up. Well, we'll bring up the fact that he was killed in this show. Wild. But we don't know if this is the real one because it's a mystery. We don't know yet.
Now, Jon Stewart notices that Hal Jordan's ring is missing, which wouldn't be unusual because when a Green Lantern dies, the ring can fly off to go find a replacement. And the irony is not lost on me. Hal Jordan was fridged in the Lantern show. And no, the murder mystery is not about the four.
You don't. Okay. Are you mad that the white guy who was the hero who was killed in the comics once before, unlike T'Challa, Hal Jordan has been killed in the comics, and you're mad because he got fridged, but Kyle Rayner's girlfriend was fridged to boost the motivations of him, but you never said, you know what, that's wrong. You never made a distinction that the right or wrong in your universe, in your logic. Is it wrong for Is it wrong for this white character to be the motivation for the black character, but it's also right for a white character to have the motivation if his girlfriend dies and is put in the fridge? Which one is right or wrong? I'm confused. Make it make sense, because it doesn't to me. I'm trying to figure it out, because this is a ridiculous argument right now.
Unknown victims at the football game. It's about the murder of the most popular Green Lantern in a Green Lantern show that can't even call itself Green Lanterns. Now, they did mention, and they weren't even subtle about it, that there are 14 species within the DCU that can shapeshift into humans, I guess including the Manhunters. Now, the original Manhunters were what the Guardians created before the Green.
They didn't say that. They did not say that. They didn't say the Manhunters could shapeshift. They just said 14 alien species. They didn't say nothing about the Manhunters yet. This is what I'm talking about while creating a narrative. Jesus Lord, let's let my people go.
Lanterns, and they were robots, but they could not shapeshift. Apparently, they are going to be able to shapeshift in this show, and they will be biological.
How do you know
them and maybe
that?
combining.
How do you know that? They did not specifically say that the Manhunters could shapeshift in this show. They did not say that. They literally said it was 14 aliens. They didn't say what aliens. They didn't say who aliens. They didn't say Kryptonians. They didn't say none of that. What they said was 14 alien species. Only reason why he even knows about the Manhunters is because the Manhunters was mentioned in the preview to this show. We haven't even got there yet. Where does this come out from? We haven't even got to that part yet. So again, why is he mentioning something that we haven't even got to that point of the story yet? It's like he wants to, I don't know, create a narrative.
With Martian Manhunter, who is a shapeshifter, but I honestly don't know. So there is a good chance that's not really the dead body of Hal Jordan, but I would like to remind you that this is the same studio that had Jor-El and Lara send Kal-El to Earth to conquer it and start a harem, and a lot of people thought that would be explained away, and it wasn't. What I do know is this is more subverting expectations and deconstructing, and if you didn't want to call it Green Lantern, you could have just called it Deconstructing Hal.
Based on what?
I have a feeling.
He has a feeling.
I have a very strong feeling. When I got it the old-fashioned way, I sure as hell didn't interview for it. Oh, shit, maybe you should have.
Good Christ, he really is full of himself.
It almost seems like you want to die, Hal Jordan.
First time he strutted up to me, I could tell Jordan doesn't care about anybody.
Which is a shame, because I really like Kyle Chandler's Hal Jordan, Aaron Pierre as John.
I'm talking about. I'm trying to see how do you create this whole entire narrative within an hour show. I am baffled right now.
Stewart, and I really don't want to not like Jon Stewart. And the rest of the cast is fine as well. The only problems I have are the words they are speaking and the leaps in logic that I won't be able to judge until the very end of the 8th episode because this is mystery.
You're doing leaps in logic now. This is the most ridiculous part of this. You're doing leaps in logic now on the first episode. Then you say, well, I don't want to do leaps in logic. You're doing it now, you dummy. Like I just spent the last hour or so with listening to this guy rant and rave, breaking down everything he's saying, and this is what you're doing. You're already doing it. So what are you talking about?
Storytelling. That being said, and believe me, this isn't much of a compliment, this might be the best DCU because it managed to trip over a bar that was laying on the ground. And if you think I'm being a little biased because I had to sit through Damon Lindelof's Watchmen, you'd be right. To state the obvious, this is only the first episode.
Well, it sounds like he's really mad about that Watchmen series.
And I'm going to let it play out because the death of Hal Jordan might be all part of Hal Jordan's plan for all I know. And it does sound like Lindelof is backing off a little bit because there's been a lot of clapback, but that was the point of murdering Hal Jordan in the first episode. They absolutely wanted that clapback and the shock factor. Damon Lindelof says, I think another one of the tropes.
Oh my God. Was it really a clapback or was y'all just, or the loudest, the smallest crowd was the loudest?
It's interesting that you bring up tropes since there's so many in just the first episode of Lanterns of the rural mystery show is that we don't really care that much about the victims. I can't even tell you the name of the dead girl in True Detective, Dora Lang, even though it's one of my favorite television shows of all time. As we began to group together, the idea became who gets murdered. We kept coming back to the idea of like, what if it's one of them, Hal or John? We were never going to kill Jon Stewart because of course you weren't. Thus, oh my God, what would happen if we killed Hal? Does it feel like a gimmick? Does it feel a bit exploitative? Yes and yes, but that's not surprising coming from anybody who used to work for Bad Reboot. He continues, there's going to be some short-term anger and dissatisfaction, understandably. People have waited over a decade for Hal Jordan to return to their screens. And then suddenly he's a frozen corpse. But what matters most is where they're sitting at the end of the 8th episode and whether they felt it was necessary turn for the story to move forward. And finally, from the article, Damon Lindelof followed the train of thought of subverting the preconceived notions of a comic book show, which is interesting that so much of the show takes place in 2016 and it feels like it's from 2016 when something like this was considered subverting expectations. And quite frankly, it was tired then. Subverting expectations today would have been having the show actually center on Hal Jordan, who's very much alive and very much the hero. But let's see how things play out.
Did you hear that? That's what I was waiting for. It should have centered on Hal, who is the hero, who is alive and he is the hero, not Jon Stewart, who's the most popular Lantern. That's all this is about. You froze the white guy, and now I got to sit with the black guy now. Now I got to go forward with the black guy, and that's what it's all about. That's what it's all about. It's not about this show is terrible. This show has bad writing. No, the white guy is sidelined. This is what your fear is, to uplift the black guy without knowing nothing else about this story. Ridiculous. Now, of course, I'm not finished because there's another buttery biscuit. And I want to see how long his is. Hold on real quick. And now I got to find it. Because that was, again, ridiculous. Another ridiculous take by another idiot. So let me share this screen, and we are going to, this is going to be the last one, and we're going to wrap this thing up afterwards. And of course, I can't stand his voice either. So we're going to speed this up and let's go. This is again, Lancers, a superhero show that hates superheroes. And I'm going to talk like this for the rest of the remaining of the show. Shut up. Oh man. Is it TB Trucking? I'm my bad if I messed that up. He talked trash about the Spider-Man movie until it broke records. They hate everything that's not all white, and that's all it is. That's all it is, bro. Is that this is not a white-centered, white focused, white male dominant show. That's all it is. You see Kyle Rayner on here get fridged at the end, and oh my God, we're being replaced. This is literally, again, the Tiki Torch dudes all over again. Yet we can't do the Tiki Torch stuff, so I got to go on my YouTube channel and tell them how much we're being replaced by the black man. The white man is out and replaced by the black man. I don't like it.
You are truly amazing. Thank you for your
Taste the
super chat.
goodness of the biscuit.
Appreciate it. And they got Butter Biscuit Brothers just eating this mess up. Oh my God. But I appreciate it. Blue dropping some jewels, man. Appreciate you, Blue. Appreciate you. Let me hook you up real quick, because I already know you be out here.
Gang banging, gang banging, gang banging.
Appreciate that, Blue. Appreciate you. Erica D, aka She Loves Fantasy, got to run. Great shoulder. Appreciate y'all in the super chats, man. Y'all been awesome, man. Appreciate it. You know I got to give you this one though, Erica.
You are truly amazing. Thank you for your super chat.
All right, you take it easy. All right, appreciate you. All right. Let's see what Critical Spinker is talking about.
Episode where they go on a tour at the Duff Brewery and you find out that every flavor is just the same crap piped into different containers. Well, that's basically James Gunn's DCU at this point. No matter what movie or show.
Oh my God. Again, if they were so interested in Zack Snyder, why aren't they petitioning and talking about how great his movies are that's outside of the outside of this DCEU stuff? That's why I told you this stuff is ridiculous.
You find yourself watching, it's all just slightly different flavors of the same cynical, wannabe, edgy, unfunny, deconstructionist James Gunn slop. In this case, seasoned with a little bit of Damon Lindelof's mildly retarded answer to True Detective, but with all—
I told you, hold up, listen. They're gonna have the same talking points. Critical Drinker and his boyfriend Erotic is gonna have the same talking points. Listen real quick.
Constructionist James Gunn slop. In this case, seasoned with a little bit of Damon Lindelof's mildly retarded answer to True Detective, but with all of the intelligence and creativity replaced by his thinly disguised race bait and political fetishes to produce Green Lanterns.
Race bait and political. If you at the same show, and let's say, for the sake of argument, that you take Hal Jordan out of it and you replace him with Kyle Rayner. Do you think that's called this race-based ridiculous stuff? If they fridged Hal Jordan while it's Kyle Rayner, do you think they would have the same talking points? No. They are ridiculous.
Sorry, it's just lanterns now, because green isn't cool enough for a show about intergalactic space cops with magical rings that allow them to manifest anything they can imagine, I guess. Ugh, I'm so tired, man.
I'm tired of you.
DC project at this point is a bit like spinning a wheel of fortune to decide the method of your own demise. You know it's ultimately going to be messy and unpleasant. It's just a question of degrees. And having
how do you know? See, this is what, and he is the king of gaslighting his audience, because again, didn't watch it, not watching it, not saying anything about it. At least Neurotic did a watch. I mean, watch party for it. This dude is just grifting. I'm talking about, man, he is in there with his white hat on. He got his Pillsbury Doughboy outfit, and it's just baking. I'm talking about mixing biscuits as we speak.
Through all 57 minutes of the pilot episode, I can confidently tell you this show is an absolute chore, combining the worst aspects of modern Hollywood character assassination with a tediously slow plot that takes forever to get moving, and dialogue that literally spells out every single thing that just happened.
Did it? Oh,
what's about to happen, so the audience is usually 10 minutes ahead of the writers, and lays out its political allegories for modern-day American immigration and race issues with all the subtlety of a thermobaric weapon.
Oh my God. You got that all from one episode. And thank you, bro. I will. But I'm talking about you got all of that from a pilot episode. The grift is real, man.
Let's get this over quickly.
Consider it done, Simon Phoenix. The show picks up in 1996 with a young Jon Stewart. No, not that one. Watching Hal Jordan being interviewed on TV about how he became the Green Lantern until his dad shows up and shoots at him to see if he's scared or not.
Are you afraid?
No, sir.
You know, funny story, I actually tried that once with a crossbow, but it didn't work out quite so well.
He is an idiot.
Probably edit that out later. Anyway, flash forward 20 years or so, and John's now being trained by Hal as a kind of backup lantern just in case anything happens to him. Oh yeah, and Hal's a drunk middle-aged loser now who doesn't actually teach him anything useful because the rules of modern writing dictate that any man over the age of 50 has to be a drunk, disabled loser. My god.
Did it? We don't know his story. We don't know his story. Your name is Critical Drinker. You're on your thumbnail or your picture is you drinking a bottle of whiskey. But somehow that's out of the realm of possibility being a 50-year-old guy who's drunk. What planet am I on? Seriously.
It's just so creative, I can't get over it. Anyway, when a mass shooting happens at a football game in small-town Nebraska, the boys are deployed to find out what happened. That's when they run into annoying girl boss number 1, who seems to exist purely to shit-talk Hal and delay his investigation for as long as possible to stretch the 20 minutes of actual plot into a 60-minute episodes. But despite her best efforts, Hal uncovers the shooter and he suspects that he's an alien in disguise, but annoying girl boss number 1 won't let him interrogate the guy even when he gets
there you go, girl boss. I'm trying to tell you, I swear these guys are lovers. Because how do you say the same exact things that the other guy has said, and then your videos drop it the same day?
Arrested to be sent to the same jail as him. I mean, Jesus Christ, I'm no expert on the Green Lantern powers or anything, but couldn't Hal just force his way into the prison if it's that urgent? It's not like a...
I'm not an expert on the power. Are you even an expert on... I'm not. I admit that I'm not an expert on any of this. But at least I will look it up. But again, if you're going into a mystery, you're trying to find out who all these people are dead, why would you go in there guns a-blazing? There's a way to be able to do stuff. Ask your boy how he evaded the cops until he couldn't evade them no more. Maybe you will find something else. Find something out. I'm just saying.
Small-town sheriff is going to be able to stop him no matter how much of a girl boss she is. What Jesus, fucking ever. So the two lads...
Here we go. I'm talking about go girl boss. Go. Y'all saying the same stuff. Golly, y'all... Man, y'all got the same slop. Y'all always talking about James Gunn slop, Modern Hollywood slop. I'm tired of Grifter slop because y'all can't pick another word, another buzzword. Make something up. And don't take it from black people either. Make something up on your own and say something different. God, dog, this is ridiculous.
Eventually gets summoned to evil redneck man's house. I know he's evil because he's a white man who lives on a ranch and immediately starts talking about wanting to protect the planet from anyone who wasn't born there.
Told y'all. This has nothing to do with this show. This is the way the white man is. Look how they do us. The white man shouldn't be a villain on a ranch with guns, even though we've seen white men be villains on a ranch with guns in a compound. We've seen people march up and down the street saying they are going to replace us, even when nobody else is around. But yet, this Hal is something out of the realm of possibility. This is just fantasy world. What planet am I on? That's what. Look. They are mad because a black man is on screen. That's what it is. The black man is replacing the white man on here. That's all it is. And we don't know that because we haven't got there yet. And for what I understand, Guy Gardner, Hal Jordan, because the comic I looked at, and Jon Stewart was all together. We don't know if he's dead. Again, this is when you create a narrative to feed your audience because your audience is stupid.
How about we both want to protect the planet from anybody not born on it?
Are you getting the subtle messaging yet, dear viewer? Anyway, evil redneck man posts some...
It's funny that he's talking like he's an American and he's not American. Don't understand colonization and all of that. Just black people are bad. We're this, we're that. but we're the same people who got colonized. This is just you can't make this stuff up. You cannot make this stuff up. When they call out, it's funny. When people call out the blatant things that has happened, all of a sudden it's woke Hollywood, it's propaganda and all of that, but it's a part of the history. And you have people right now in the States that thinking illegals is taking their jobs. If that wasn't the case, why are they voting for Trump? If people don't, if people didn't think like that, why is Donald Trump in office?
Strings to get Hal to interrogate the shooter, which is something that should have happened like 20 minutes ago, but fuck it, we need to make this episode an hour long somehow. And even though annoying girl boss number 1 is absolutely convinced that he's barking up the wrong tree, Hal's actually proven right and the man really is an alien pretended to be human. Then he blows himself up, but Hal saves the day with his ring powers and she's still pissed at him somehow. Seriously, fuck off. Flash forward another 10 years and John returns to the place where it all happened, reunites with annoying girl boss.
See, that's what I'm talking about. Like I said, there's no way in the world, I don't see how these dudes, they gotta pay for it. They gotta be dropping big bills because this woman in this whole entire show did not give off an attitude and all of that or whatever. She was there's more to this, and I believe that there's more to this that she's allowing to be known. It wouldn't surprise me if her husband was an alien. It wouldn't surprise me if his dad was an alien. It wouldn't surprise me if all them people in that town was aliens, and she just didn't want him to come up here and stir that pot. That's what I think it is. But we ain't got there yet because this is just episode 1.
Number 1, who somehow hasn't aged a day in 10 years, and together they find Hal's frozen body at the football stadium, having completed his middle-aged white man character arc by dying and stepping aside to make way for someone more diverse.
There it is. You can't make this stuff up, y'all. You cannot make this stuff up. It didn't have anything to do. Is the white man is being replaced. Let's listen to it again. Listen, I'm gonna shut up. Listen to it again.
His middle-aged white man character arc by dying and stepping aside to make way for someone more diverse.
He don't like the fact that this show is focused on a black man who is again, these are supposed to be comic book channels and comic book movie channels, or whatever they are. They're Grifter videos. And they're mad that a black man who is a Green Lantern in the comics is, and again, Hal Jordan has died in the comics, but now that a black man is taking on the mantle, sounds familiar, doesn't it, Falcon? When he became Captain America. And again, this is what I will give DC is props over Marvel. Marvel didn't want to tackle this conversation that these idiots keep bringing up. They don't want to tackle the fact that they are mad anytime that we express that we are Americans too, and that we're just as good as our white counterparts. They don't like that because white supremacy is drooling out of their pores. And he couldn't wait. He couldn't wait for a guy who is a comic book hero just so happened to be black. Because again, if this was Kyle Rayner or Guy Gardner, wouldn't have no problems. But since it's a black guy, now this is diversity. Someone who was created 6 years after Hal Jordan, all of a sudden, this is diversity. One black man, one black guy, out of the majority of the cast, the one black guy, since he's getting moved out the way, I didn't want to see it. Because I didn't want to see a black man do what white man's supposed to do. This is absolutely some of the silliest stuff I've ever heard in my life. And people defend this mess. Get the fuck out of here.
Now, what can I say about this show except I can't think of many projects where the influences and intentions of the writers are more glaringly obvious than Lanterns. Instead of making a show about intergalactic space cops going on cosmic adventures and battling all manners of weird and wonderful alien threats, they instead decided to make a Temu version of True Detective, complete with bleak, cynical, and mostly unlikable characters who constantly have to swear to prove just how edgy they are, patched together with all the tedious tropes of modern Hollywood writing, and the usual laundry list of safe, predictable political targets like Republicans, small-town America, and immigration policy. And holy fuckballs, is it tedious. It's nothing but
again, you're taking Cliff Notes and creating a narrative because you know your crowd is going to. Remember, they went after the Odyssey. This is the same idiot that said black people wasn't in Greece. Especially during the time of Homer, if Homer even existed, the writings of Homer said black people didn't exist. And then a portion of my DNA has Grecian, people lived in Greece according to my DNA. And I'm black. Not dark, just black. Just saying.
Standard police procedural with some vague superhero elements mixed in, made by people with no understanding of police procedures and no affection for superheroes. Not only is it crushingly slow and
police, I guarantee you, since you hang with Neurotic, he knows everything about police procedures. Assume the position, put your hands behind your back. You have the right to remain silent. Anything you say against you, or anything you say will be used against you in the court of law. You have the right to an attorney.
Dull, stretching out the runtime with pointless side quests and putting characters into holding patterns while the plot catches up with them, but it also literally spells out everything that's happening just in case you weren't paying attention,
No, it wasn't. It really wasn't. I talked about Sean's goofy ass earlier. You know what I'm saying, Blue? All this crap, watching a show for an hour, and this is what these people gathered.
Be fair, you probably weren't. Like at one point when John goes to a barbecue at evil redneck guy's house, only to discover the old lady that he fucked in a parking lot the night before, oh yeah, that's the thing which happens, is the guy's wife.
First of all, do you see this woman? Do you see this woman? I ain't mad at John. I mean, I'm not saying like she my type like that. I seen her actually, the pictures of her on a red carpet. She's a very beautiful woman. Not my particular type, but very beautiful woman. I ain't mad that John hit that. I ain't mad that John hit that. I had to travel here to Nebraska because my guy just flew off with his ring, so I had to go take it the hard way. I need to release some stress. And you act like this is Aunt May from the original Spider-Man movies. That woman is still a very beautiful woman. It doesn't look like nobody's grandma. And again, this is the part of the story that I'm thinking this person is an alien. I'm just saying, dude, I'm trying to tell you, I think he paid for it. I think he pays for it. I'm just saying. And he didn't know she was a grandma. She don't look like, did she look like the typical did she look like Mama to you? Does she look like Mima? Does she look like the lady who played what's her, I can't think of her name from Spider-Man 1. They played Aunt May. Does she look like that? Or does she look more like Marissa Tomei? Come on, dog.
And the dude says this to him as he leaves.
Nothing better than eating off another man's grill.
I mean, okay, it's a bit cringy, but at least it gives you a bit of a hint about how much the man really knows. Then fucking Hal has to immediately jump in with this absolute clanger.
I definitely slept with his wife.
And he knows.
Apparently. I mean, it's like the writers have never even heard of the idea of...
Oh my God. Like, if you pay for something, you know what I'm saying? You give a high five to your boy because, she costs about 12, 15, you know what I'm saying, to knock her down. You know what I mean?
Subtext. Honestly, Damon Lindelof should have been banned from ever writing anything again, ever, after the absolute embarrassment of Watchmen, but somehow...
The embarrassment of Watchmen? Hold on. Because I've been waiting to break down some of your stuff. Hold on. Good Lord. Since he's talking about HBO Watchmen, HBO's Watchmen was a major critical and commercial success, averaging over 7 million viewers per episode across all platforms, and becoming HBO's most watched series since the debut since Big Little Lies in 2017. Strong multiple platform draw. While initial Sunday Night Live television viewers hovered around 800 to 900,000, delayed viewing and streaming boosted total significantly. Growing audience. The finale drew a series high 1.6 million viewers across all platforms, proving it was a robust word of mouth hit. Critical acclaim and success. High critical score. It earned a 98% critical approval for Rotten Tomatoes. Emmy dominance. The limited series received 26 Emmy nominations and won 11 awards, including Outstanding Limited Series and acting nods for Regina King and Yahya Abdul-Mateen II. But let's look at Will. What's his name? What's Will's last name? Will Jordan. I think that's his name. Oh, yeah, here we go. I found him. Hey, look. Look, he doesn't even have a name on here. Let's see. Let's go look. Now, remember, this is he said the other guy, he shouldn't be, all those Emmy nominations and Emmy awards, he shouldn't write nothing else ever again. Well, this Ryan Drake story got a 3.6 stars out of 10. Damn, Will, it seems like you shouldn't be even a short story. People like, nah, I'm good. Don't watch this garbage. I was talking about 1.3 1.3 thousand people voted on your Rogue Elements little short, and you only got a 3.6, big dog. You only got a 3.6. That must sting, boy. It must sting. All right, let's keep going. It's almost over.
Somehow this bald, pretentious retard just keeps failing upwards in Hollywoods. Let that be.
Oh, wait a minute. You're mad because you're not falling upwards. You're falling on your face, you jackass.
Listen to you kids, it's not what you know or even who you know, it's what you say that matters in that industry. In terms of character work, pretty much everyone except Howe is an unlikable arsehole in this show, and most of that comes down to Kyle Chandler doing his best with some pretty shocking material. Aaron Pierre, on the other hand, is an absolute block of wood with all the personality and charisma of a love child between Sam Worthington and Sophie Turner.
Oh my God. Again, this ain't about Aaron Pierre, because Aaron Pierre is doing he's being Jon Stewart. Again, I don't know too much about the comics, but he reminds me, what I do know is Justice League Unlimited. It ain't the comics. I'm not saying it's the comics. It take high inspiration from the comics, and he sounds and acts, moves just like the Jon Stewart from that show. Maybe I'm tripping. Y'all put it in the comment section and let me know if I'm tripping about that.
Jesus, how is this guy supposed to carry the entire show? I was bored of him after like one episode. Ultimately, Lanterns is pretty much exactly what I expected when you take the political obsessions of Damon Lindelof and try to plant them in the creative wasteland of James Gunn's DCU by James Gunn. It's a show that combines the worst of every world, and I don't imagine I'm going to be wasting much more time on it. Not when there's much better things I could be doing.
Hold on, wait a minute. You're talking about drinking, but you said 50. You're going to be the 50-year-old guy who's going to be drunk anyway, idiot.
Anyway, that's all I've got.
Oh God, I'm glad it's over. Let's get him off the screen. I'm glad that's over. It's trash. I can't. Again, shout out to Birdman. Shout out to my guy, the Birdman, because I can't see how he breaks this crap down. I'm talking about every. Oh God, every time these dudes drop, I shout out to him for writing it or whatever. I'm doing this all on the fly. This was hard to get through because these dudes, this is just baiting racism, because they're saying, oh, well, Jon Stewart's just here for the sake of diversity, not because he's out of the comics. For the sake of diversity. Not that he was in Justice League Unlimited. He was he was very popular in a lot of people's Green Lantern. Diversity. Get the flub up out of here, man. Y'all need to y'all kill me, man. Y'all need to cut the crap. Stop it. Stop it.
Yo, the sign is real simple, B. It says wrap it up. Wrap that shit up, B.
Oh, I gotta wrap this up. Yeah, 50 years. 1971 was his debut. So what is this? 55 years of Jon Stewart. But yet, for the sake of diversity, according to them. But yeah, I gotta go. I gotta go to the store because I gotta get stuff for my trip. So if depends on what time I leave, I might give y'all a show. I might just go live from my phone once I get to I don't know what I'm gonna do. I'm gonna be honest with you. I don't know what I'm gonna do tomorrow. But if I don't give you a show, you know I'm in LA and getting everything together. You know what I'm saying? So but yeah. You said, wait a minute, you said he might be racers. If they did this to a black character, I'd probably be upset too. Do what? No, I don't get back. I don't get back until I get back after midnight. Going into Tuesday morning. Because that was the I didn't want to have a delay, and that was the only flight that I could get out of Southwest, direct flight from LA back to the city. So, but yeah, but I lived in LA, so you know what I mean. So I don't because I gotta get on my flight. My flight, I gotta be at the my flight leaves at 7:30 in the afternoon. So trust me, I was trying to leave early. That was not happening. It was like ridiculous delays and layovers. I was like, no, I'll wait till the afternoon. But yeah. But let me get up out of here, man, because I gotta go run to the store real quick, grab the last of my stuff so I can get all my stuff together, man, and get out of here. But man, thank you so very much for tuning in to another episode of the Dre Mac Show. You know, I got my jarritos, man. I don't want to say that Critical Drinker might say it, but like, oh, he likes Mexican stuff too. Oh, snap. You like some Mexican. This just diversity all the way around while I'm drinking Irish beer. Anyway, let me get y'all out of here. Thank you so very much for tuning in to another episode of the Dre Mac Show. Don't forget to like, share, subscribe. Don't forget to hit that bell notification so you never, ever miss one of my videos again. Until next time, I'll let you guys later. Peace and Bob Hire, man. Enjoy the rest of your Thursday. Where's the outro at? Because you already know. Oh, wait a minute. You're telling me the video's over? What? Huh. Okay, I guess so. If you have came to this portion of the video, thank you so very much for sticking to the end. Don't forget to like, share, and subscribe. Don't forget to hit that little bell notification so you never miss one of my videos. And if you really want to, you don't got to, go ahead and follow the social media links that's down below. Until next time, I'll let you guys later. Peace and Bob Hire, y'all. Y'all take care of yourself.